This is lesson 3.3. 3.3. So, whoa. You're going to title your lesson 3.3 Operations, like add, subtract, multiply, and divide, and composition, which is going to be a new thing for us, of functions. And I'm going to abbreviate functions FXN, and I know, yes, there are no X's in the word function, but we're just going to abbreviate that way. So operations and composition of functions. All right. If f of x equals 3x minus 7 and g of x equals 13 minus 2x, find f of x plus g of x. Okay. All it's doing is it's giving you the f function, and then it's giving you a g function. So if it says f of x plus g of x, this right here is your direction. It's telling you what you need to do. So if you saw f of x plus g of x, what might you think to do? Leanna?
Take 3x minus 7
Okay.
plus 13 minus 2x.
So Leanna said maybe take the f of x function, 3x minus 7, and add, because it tells me to add, the 13 minus 2x. And that's exactly right. That's all it's asking you to do. You don't have to do anything with the f of x and g of x labels. You're just going to take 3x minus 7. Okay, so write that on your paper. Plus, because that's what they told us to do, 13 minus 2x. So I'm taking the f function and I'm adding the g function. How do we do this now? Yeah, that's it, right? Combine like terms. So 3x minus 2x is x. Negative 7 plus 13, positive 6. And we would write our answer like this. F plus g of x, we can put this in parentheses too, equals x plus 6. What that label is telling you is when you have added f plus g together, the answer should be x plus 6. Okay?
So, this might be a dumb question, but why would it ask us to do that instead of just telling us straight off the bat, you know?
It did though.
It uses math terms instead of non-math terms? Is that what you're asking? Why didn't it just say add them together?
Mm-hmm.
It did just say add them together. That's what this is. Take your f, add your g. That's it. Okay, so we're going to do sum, difference, product, and quotient. What we need to be careful about, guys, is on the subtraction one, you're going to have to distribute. So make yourself a note on the difference box. Make yourself a note on the difference box to distribute the negative sign. That's going to be huge. Distribute the negative sign or the subtraction sign. The quotient is usually going to stay as is. There's not going to be much dividing that can go on. So make yourself a note here, usually stays as is. There's not going to be much dividing actually going on. All right. Number 1. You can see in the directions they've given you those 3 functions, right? They gave you f of x, g of x, and h of x. In the directions up there, you guys see that? Those are the 3 equations we're going to use for all 8 of these problems. Is there 8 of them? All 6 of these problems. Okay, so we're going to use these for all of them. So this first one says take your f function, add your g function. Why don't you see if you can do that? Take your f function. We've already done one like this. So I'm going to write my f function down. And then I am adding my g function. And you don't have to do what I did f and g. I just want to show you that that's what I did. I took the f function and I added the g function. And now all I'm doing is just combining like terms, right? So x squared stands alone. Negative 8x plus 4x is
4x.
what?
Negative 4x.
Negative 4x. 4 minus 3, what did you say, Brooklyn? Plus 1. And then we have to put a label on the front. So my label on the front is going to say f plus g of x, because that's what they told me to do.
Can that be behind you?
It can be on the other side, it's fine. Uh-huh. What do you mean do something with the x?
Do we have an X?
Hang on.
Well, H. That's what I was thinking.
What?
We have, right here, we have a number that has H.
Right. But they didn't give us h in problem number 1, right? If you look at problem number 2, it gives you f and h. It doesn't give you g. So on number 2, we're going to leave out the g function. Okay? So you only use whichever ones they're telling you to. So they're going to give you direction on every single one.
See, I thought there was going to be like a loop and they were.
Nope, not a loop, that's it. So in number 2, let's start with our f function. So we're going to start with x squared minus 8x plus 4. Then we're going to subtract our h function, x plus 2. But we are subtracting this entire function. So look what's happening. This is my f function, and I'm subtracting the entire h function. You have to use parentheses because you need to do what?
Distribute.
You need to distribute. That's what we wrote up there. Because if you don't distribute, if you just leave it like this, the only negative is going to the x, right? And you're leaving the 2 positive. But if you put parentheses around it, it's going to change it to a negative 2, which is what is accurate.
That's what we need to do.
Okay, so whenever it's subtraction, you need to use parentheses. So then I have x squared minus 8x plus 4 minus x minus 2. So I distributed my negative sign here and here. And now I'm just combining like terms like normal again.
No, I thought we have to make the negative positive because we're distributing.
There's nothing negative in here, right? This x is positive and this 2 is positive.
Well, when you distribute.
So then when I distribute my negative, it turns it negative. Turns it negative. It wasn't already negative. It was positive. Okay, so Donald, what'd you get as your final answer here?
X squared minus 9x plus 6.
Plus 6. Did you make your 2 negative?
Oh, no.
Oh, did you put parentheses around your subtraction problem?
Yeah.
You just forgot to distribute?
Yeah.
Should be plus 2. And on the front end, you need to put your label, f minus h of x.
Put it behind it.
On this side over here?
Yeah.
Sure. Questions so far? Man, keep stepping on this plug. Okay. So number 3 is what? What does that look there? Multiplication, right? So you're going to take your h function, because that's the one they told you first. So you're going to take x plus 2. And then you're going to multiply. What's a symbol for multiplication? Parentheses. So you should have x plus 2 in parentheses and 4x minus 3 in parentheses right next to each other. Yep, and now how do you multiply this? So you're going to FOIL it or multiply it whichever way you like to think about it.
So is this just going to get more lengthy as time goes on? Because I notice the problems are getting
No.
longer and longer and longer.
That's just algebra. That's going to be geometry too.
Well, geometry wasn't hard at all.
Let's just work on finishing number 3, please. We have enough on our plate. We don't need to talk about what's going to happen in 2 weeks.
Do I keep my parentheses?
Hey. Class? I'll let you tell him that. All right. So I get 4x squared plus 5x minus 6. Is that what you guys are getting? Okay.
How did you get 5x?
Because negative 3x plus 8x is negative 5x.
Negative 5?
Oh, see, I'm writing the wrong one.
Negative 3 plus 8 is a positive 5.
Oh,
Okay, that, I
Did
thought
it-
it just said, see,
I thought we were multiplying this in like.
You're going to put h times g of x. Okay? All right, number 4. We're going to start with f function on top. So I have x squared minus 8x plus 4. And on the bottom I have the h function, x plus 2. Question. Are you able to just cancel 4 divided by 2 and make that a 2?
No.
Absolutely not. This x plus 2 on the bottom is one entire term. This x squared minus 8x plus 4 is one entire term. You cannot reduce. This is finished. This is all we can do on this problem. F over h of x. That's why we wrote up at the top, division is mostly just as is. Okay?
So we will just write it out and leave it.
Yep, that's it.
Oh yeah, I like these.
I got a question.
so,
Yeah.
Why can't you divide it then? Like, why can't you just take all of the x plus 2 out of the bottom?
Because how can you divide it out of the top? Is there an x plus 2 on the top that you can cancel it with?
No, but there's an 8x plus
Okay, but this whole thing on top represents one number. It's not 3 separate terms, right? Because if you knew what x was, you could plug it in, it would make one number, right? Not 3 different terms. So
But-
those numbers are not the same.
But isn't each term each term represented by a minus sign and a plus sign?
Yes, but if you knew x, how many numbers would be up there?
I don't know.
You could combine it together to make one number, right? Because you wouldn't have any unknowns. It would just be one number.
do you have to put your parentheses around your answer like you did?
Yeah.
Are we gonna get a break today?
Yeah. In a minute. Let's look at number 8.
Patient lunch.
Let's go to number 8. So we're going to take the f function minus g. What looks different this time on number 8?
Because it gives us 8,
It gives us an 8 instead of a what?
x.
Okay, look at 7, 8, 9, and 10. All of them, it gives us a number, right, instead of x.
So we're gonna plug that in for x.
We're going to plug that number in for x, but only after we have simplified.
Yeah. So
Okay? So we're going to simplify completely. Then we're going to plug our x back, or our number in for x. So let's try number 8. Remember, it's a subtraction problem, so what do we have to remember to do? Distribute your negative sign, right? So now look, they're giving you a new f and a new f function and a new g function. So you don't have to flip back on the other page. So our f function, whoops, 2x squared minus x minus 12 minus the g function, which was x plus 7. That x plus 7 should be in parentheses. And we should be subtracting. We're not plugging in the 8. Do not plug in 8 yet. All we're doing is combining like terms first.
does that become 2 negative? And then
So I get 2x squared. Negative x and negative x is what, Leanna?
2x.
Negative 2x.
Yeah.
Negative 12 and negative 7 is negative 19. Is everything simplified as much as you can?
Yeah.
Okay, so now when everything is simplified as much as you can, now is when you're going to plug that 8 in for x. And you're going to plug it in at both places, right? So there's two x's up here, and you're going to plug it in here, 8 squared, minus 2 times 8, minus 19.
Can we use our calculators now?
Yes, you may have your calculator privileges back.
Wait, so the number for this represents x?
Yes, the number they give you at the beginning represents x.
Well, I
So
wasn't
once
seeing
you
the
have-
instructions.
Once you have simplified everything, then you may plug in the number.
Like that would still be
Yes,
in there.
order of operations.
Like,
Yep.
Will I still have my eggs when I'm done?
No, you should not have an x in your problem anymore.
Just making sure.
What do we do with
So this is 128 minus 16 minus 19. 128 minus 16 minus 19 is what, Cedric?
93.
Did anyone else get 93?
Yeah.
Good. So 93 is our answer when we do f minus g of 8. That gives me 93.
So that's our final answer. Is that
Yes. Yep. Equals 93.
That's pretty easy.
Okay, we're going to do one more and then we're going to take a break. So the last one we're going to do is number 10. I want you to do number 10 on your own, please. So you're taking your f function on top and dividing by your g function. But we said there's nothing to simplify, right? You can't cancel anything out. So once you've written your division problem, then all you need to do is what? Now you plug in.
Like this?
We plug in for the.
Yep, top and bottom for x. Did you simplify it all the way out?
Oh no, I have to simplify it?
Mhm.
No, didn't get that far. I thought that was just it.
Keep going.
What do you write those?
You mean with your final answer?
Yeah, like the f of whatever. I already
Yep.
got it, but
So then you need to write f over g of 5, just like we did this one, right? We just wrote this down and equaled it to that number. Mitchell, you might want to check your math again.
can you check it again?
You got 33? 50 minus 5 is 45. 45 minus 12 is...
Well, I divided by
Maybe
4.
Miriam should check her math again. 33 divided 33 over 12, right? Can that be reduced? By what? By 3, right? So we can reduce that by 3 and I get 11 over 4. So then we're going to write our final answer. F over G, put that in parentheses, of 8, I'm sorry, 5, equals 11 over 4.